Pour a cup and connect with us today as we talk about beauty standards as Christians, part 2. This is Mugs and Mercy. Cheers! Welcome back, everybody. You know, it's October, and we thought, what better way to look beautiful and creepy at the same time?
Oh dear.
You know, it works, but also it
Not
doesn't.
a huge fan of how this feels.
Oh, in case you're just listening and not watching,
By the way,
we have some beauty skin masks on. You know, the peel and stick kind of.
Not
beautiful.
like a lotiony, cute, like green mask. It's like
Yeah, maybe we should have done the green mask.
It's like, hello. It looks as bad as it feels.
Okay, and
let's do the magic. Ready?
Magic.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
You guys look good.
Good to see
Cinema
you.
magic. Oh, we're clear. No, we're cheersing.
Woo.
I can't wait to get into the topic today.
Speaking of cheers, Christine, what's in your mug?
Thank you for asking. This is the distant future, the year 2000, the new millennium mug. And I'm drinking a tea. I forget what kind, but it's not bad.
It smells good.
Yeah, it's like a chai. And I'm really excited to talk about Hairmageddon. So stay tuned. Emily, what's in your mug?
In my mug is punch, and it's in my what's it called? Goblet from Disney World, from Belle's Tavern, or Gaston's Tavern. And I'm excited to talk about and continue this conversation around beauty and what it means to be beautiful. Katie, what's in your mug?
This is my good, bad, ugly Cinderella mug, and I am having Japanese green tea.
Ooh.
And I'm excited to hear about Hairmageddon from Christine.
I just want to backtrack a second and say, it's no wonder that her name means beauty.
Yeah, oh yeah, I meant to
It's
say
so
I picked it out.
appropriate
because
for
it's
today.
Beautiful,
Beautiful.
Belle, beautiful.
Beauty and the
Beauty
Beast.
and the Beast, yeah.
All right. Well, welcome back, everyone, to part 2 of our beauty standards as Christian women conversation. So, if you joined us last week, good for you.
And if you
Welcome
didn't,
back.
it'll be okay.
Yeah.
But you probably
you'll catch
might
him.
want to
Yeah. So.
or catch it on the backside. I don't know. Anyway, so last week we were talking about social media. We talked about modesty and makeup. And today we have a few more topics to include in the beauty standards discussion, the conversation, which will touch upon self-expression, hair, and weight and body image. And I think we kind of, I think that body image and self-perception kind of bleeds through into all these subtopics that we're talking
That could be a
about.
whole episode in itself.
Yeah. And like makeup is kind of like, and fashion is kind of it's self-expression. But let's start with you, Emily. What do you have to say about self-expression as a Christian woman, Orthodox Christian woman?
Yes, I think it's similar to modesty in that we want to express ourselves and dress in a way that is expressive without it taking away from the main picture, which is leading people to Christ and being Christ-like. For instance, you could wear like a fun outfit. You can, color your hair. You can wear makeup and things like that. As long as you're doing it in an edifying way, like I don't like wearing even if I think it's funny, I would never wear a t-shirt that had like vulgar something on it or like gore or bad words,
Al Gore.
Yeah, or Al Gore. No.
I would never wear an Al Gore t-shirt.
And it's kind of the same with like makeup or anything. It's like it's kind of fun to express yourself and look at yourself as long as you're remembering that you are the image of Christ and you're made in the image of Christ and you don't want to alter yourself in a negative way. This is what I think about me. You want it to be edifying in some way. So like I've dyed my hair before. I'm I don't know if this really, like, this might be a little controversial, but I have some tattoos. Oh my gosh. Jewelry is fun. It's all a self-expression.
Emily, can you show us your Jerusalem tattoo?
Oh, yes. It's kind of awkward to show it. Can you see it?
No, I don't know. But I don't know.
I got it in Jerusalem at the oldest tattoo shop in the world at
Wow.
So it's
Razuk
a
Tattoos. And they did it the old-fashioned way, and it's a stamp from the medieval times. So they actually,
particularly painful.
it's way worse than a
Oh my
regular
gosh,
tattoo.
you just
'cause I have a
did
regular
that.
tattoo.
and I shivered.
And they actually take a needle. It's like they're plucking your skin.
Oh,
But what's cool is it's the Jerusalem
TMI,
cross.
Emily.
And it has the branch of hope, and it's the Jerusalem cross, which is any way it looks the same no matter what angle you're looking at it, and then the 3 crowns, which represents the Trinity. So
Yeah, I like that because if I had a tattoo, I would be very like conscious of which way it was facing. I'd be like this all the time, like.
yes.
But with that cross, it can go any direction. That's less stressful.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
One reason why I don't have tattoos is because it would just be too stressful to get that perfectly
And-
centered. And
Yes, and if you're curious about like orthodoxy and tattoos, ask your priest, because we're not. I'm not gonna say like you can do it or you can't, but
yes, we're not authority figures on this, but I think we do have the benefit that some others might not have of we've come from parishes that have had a lot of people who express themselves very outwardly. We had a lot of tattoos at our parish and lots of hairdos, punks and
lots of skinny jeans.
but like I'm not scandalized if I see a biker at church or if I see someone with a mohawk,
and I think it's a good reminder that we should be welcoming to anyone who's coming to the church, even if they're expressing themselves in a different way than maybe the way we express ourselves.
Yeah. Our old church was referred to as like the tattooed church because we had a lot of punk rockers convert at the same time, and a lot of bikers.
Your husband included.
My husband
was gonna
was
say.
one of them. Yeah,
I'm
maybe
like-
that could be Gary's episode when he comes on and talk about that whole movement. So when we moved here, I told someone what church I was from, and they're like, "Oh, really? Where's your tattoos?" And then they found out Christine.
Well, you
and her
actually do have a
husband-
couple tattoos.
Yeah, and they found out Christine and her husband were from there, and that was her joke with you guys too. Like, "Oh, cool. Where are your tattoos?" But it's true. A lot of people who came from there had tattoos.
I think we can benefit from coming from a community like that was open to, just the church in general is open to people to come and see and find Jesus and find the Orthodox faith. And of course you might want to tame it down a little bit. Like when you come to liturgy, some people come on the first time, they have no idea. And they're just like, oh, my chains are jingling out loud. And everyone's like, I don't know. I don't know. Do punks wear the chains still,
Sometimes,
a chain wallet? So anyways, but that was kind of like a benefit to me. Like I'm not scandalized if I see someone with tattoos or funky hair coming to church because I'm like, yeah, come to Orthodoxy, come to the church. It's cool. And then I think once you're like an Orthodox member, you kind of baptize that part of yourself. And so however you were expressing yourself before, you can still express yourself, but make it Orthodox,
Which isn't to say like, oh, I like coloring my hair. Now I have to do a cross or something in my hair. But it's like everything goes back to God. You're mirroring God, and everything starts to transform on its own when you're baptized.
I think that the most important thing to remember is whether you have a very clear outward expression, such as a lot of tattoos, or someone like me who's never had a tattoo. Everything that we are doing, we need to focus on and glorify God. And so glorifying God through the tattoos or whatever it might be, like your cross, and you see it and remember the Lord.
And I have a dove on my back, which is biblical, and I always wanted a dove because it represents hope and the Holy Spirit. So
Yeah, I think that's ultimately like self-expression. Like we are made in the image of the creator. So he made us good. And however we are expressing ourselves, if we were remembering him in that, then I think it can be good.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then some people, once they become Orthodox, really express themselves in a very Orthodox way, like long beards or like elaborate head wraps or.
Have you seen Kat Von D, the famous makeup artist? She's Orthodox now. And she's like, her whole everything is like an aesthetic, you know?
Yeah.
But now it's like Orthodox version of everything.
Right.
Have
like,
you seen that?
Yeah.
It's really
I know
neat.
she like blacked out a lot of her tattoos from
Yeah.
before, but it fits. Orthodoxy can fit your subculture.
And your gifts, like, and your desires and your desire to self-express can still be satisfied, if not more, under Christianity.
As long as you remember, like, you're conforming to the church, not trying to make like Orthodox conform to you.
Exactly. I would say if there's any like fine line you're not sure about, talk to your spiritual father or your godparents or someone that knows to help you know, maybe I shouldn't get a tattoo across my forehead, or something.
Speaking of people's opinions, I think hair was the next thing on our list.
Keeping us on track. Okay, tell us
Okay.
about Hairmageddon.
Okay, so guys, this is the thing. When I first proposed, like, we could do a whole episode about hair because I've had some experiences, let me tell you. And I think hair is very closely connected to a woman's identity and a man's too, but less so. But for women, it's a big deal. And I've experienced this weird phenomenon of people really caring about other people's hair. Okay, so in the 2000 teens, I think in the teens, when I had a pixie haircut, which I had always wanted. I kind of dabbled and tried it out in high school and it didn't go very well. I didn't know what to ask for at the salon. But when I was 20 something, I got a pixie and I loved it. And I had a lot of people react. So I had really long hair because I just never cut it because I'm lazy and low maintenance. And then I got it cut like a pixie and people were like, oh, and the reactions I got were crazy.
But it was short pixie. It wasn't like,
Yeah.
because you're going like this, but it was
No,
pretty short.
Maybe
Yeah.
we can
Insert a photo.
put a picture.
somewhere.
It was cute, okay? So I had like this whole spectrum of reactions from strangers would stop me, women would go, oh my gosh, your hair's so cute. Can I take a picture of it so I can show my hair cutter? What's it called? Stylist, yes. My hair cutter. She cuts my hairs. The first time I went to church with it, I had one of the older church ladies slap me. Like
On the mount or the cheek?
just like on the arm. But we were like in line to be dismissed or something. She goes, what did you Sorry. See, it's shocking, isn't it? She like
it's fine.
she slapped me and she's like, what did you do?
I think it's because it made such a loud
It was unexpected.
Which it probably was when you were in line.
Yes. So she smacked me and she said, what did you do? What did you do to your hair?
yeah.
And I was like, haha, cut it. And then I had another intimidating Russian man very, very solemnly come up to me and say, you look like a feminazi. Oh, do you know what those are?
Step back,
And then
mister.
I was like, oh, well, I'm not.
Yeah.
And kind of just giggled and he's like, just walked away or something.
Well, I'm not. Oh,
Like,
that's,
well,
yeah.
I mean, he knew me. It wasn't like just a random Russian. It's like he knew me. He knows I'm not a feminazi or like an extremist in any way, but he just made that association based on my hair. Okay, can I make a point? Like Audrey Hepburn, even Princess Diana, short hair. Everybody's grandma.
I was gonna
short
say,
hair.
I'm like, usually women, once they get to a certain age, do shorter hair.
Like it's that time.
Like the length of your hair is not a determinant of how feminine you are or how anti-feminine you are.
What about that 1980s movie, Some Kind of Wonderful?
Oh, I love that movie. It's so much
She
better
had
than
short-
Pretty in Pink.
She had
It's-
short blonde hair, and it always reminded
Yeah.
me of you.
But she was like this kind of punk drummer girl. And I was just like, I was trying to be feminine, like feminine cute pixie. So yes, I was trying to honor my femininity, but also myself, because I am a very low maintenance person. Like I said, even now when I have long hair, I just put it in a bun. You might see it in a braid. This is special for the podcast, okay? Having my hair down. Anyways, I'm low maintenance. It made sense for me. It was more flattering for me to have a pixie that was cute and styled that I could actually do than to just not respect my hair in a bun or whatever, you know? So that's what I was going for. And it worked really well for me as a person. I think it was fitting at the time, and it was fitting for my personality. So I was honoring myself. You
And
know?
that's how your hair was when you met your husband and started dating him.
It's true. It's true. So anyway, so Hairmageddon, that wasn't Hairmageddon. That was just the reaction. Y'all remember Facebook, when Facebook was, you post like a status and then people like comment. It wasn't like you could tag, or maybe you could tag back then. But anyways, I wanted to try to find it. I don't remember who posted it, but I don't think they're on Facebook anymore. And how would I find it? Because we weren't like tagged in it. So someone posted this conversation starter. So the topic was like hair and beauty and what is objectively beautiful versus subjective. Like basically it was like, should women have long hair? Because that's what's more beautiful, you know? This was my friend who started this conversation. And we had all these men weighing in, a lot of them philosophers who were like talking about whether or not women should have long hair. And it was like this like big thing back in the teens, this big Facebook conversation that people were coming up to me and like, are you okay? Are you okay? Like Hairmageddon's going on, you know, just this discussion where people are like, we know people who have short hair, you know, are you talking about her or judging her? And it was like really weird. I was like kind of okay, but it was kind of really weird.
I have a question, because I remember that. And I remember reading articles about, they try to be like having hair represent like the psyche, and if it meant you were like mentally like these mental things, if it's like mentally normal for a woman to cut their hair. But it was a lot of like shaving their hair off all the way, as opposed to like, but you were styling it and stuff. So did you feel like there was a difference that people talked about, or were they talking about shaving it all off?
No,
Like bald
they were
women.
just, from what I recall, it was like long hair is beautiful. Shouldn't something be like objectively beautiful? And if that's true, shouldn't women have long hair? You know, like that's like what God intended.
Yeah.
That was kind of the discussion. So that
I love
happened.
all the men are weighing in.
Yeah, so that was like an actual event that happened in my life, Hairmageddon. But I think that's kind of like a conversation some people might be having, you know, nowadays, and they're between man to man, or you know, like out in the world, you know. Like I wasn't doing it to rebel, although when people were like, "You can't cut your hair, your blonde hair," I'm like, yes, I can. Watch me. You know, part of me was like that because they're not me. Like, you don't own me in my hair. You know, my other friend has gorgeous red hair, and she's my pixie friend. You know, we're like our pixie pals or whatever, because she had an adorable, cute pixie with her beautiful red hair. And I was never like, you have red hair, you're not allowed to cut it, because like I love red hair. It's so beautiful, and like, oh my gosh, you naturally grow that. Anyways. Like, but it's still a beautiful red pixie. You're still a beautiful person. So
Do you feel like part of it was like you're reclaiming your own, like what you think is beautiful, and you feel like a little bit empowered by that?
it was empowering because I was doing something for myself instead of what people wanted for me. But like I said before, I think I was honoring myself because it's what made me feel more confident and more, dare I say, attractive, you know, like it felt like flattering to me, like physically, but also personally, emotionally.
Well, and I think you almost maybe were being like more feminine because you're saying like when it was long, like you just felt like you had to put it up and but it's like, oh, you could style it quickly and make it look all cute.
And you
Yeah.
have good features for short hair.
yeah.
Like I would not be able to
Especially
pull it off.
15 years ago or whatever, you know.
Well,
Like, you had the you could see your jaw and like your just every angle is really
I think
cute.
ultimately it's not like how long or short a woman's hair is not a moral issue. And I
Right.
think that's the problem is by having that discussion, they're making it like as if it's like an immoral thing to cut your hair, and that I think is objectively incorrect.
Yeah.
Immoral.
Yeah.
No, but it's true. That's true. It's like people can have their opinions on things, but those are just opinions.
Sure, and that's
Yeah.
the thing. Like a guy might be like, "Oh yeah, like I tend to be more attracted to women with long hair," and that's fine. Like that's his own thing. But to turn it into like it's wrong to cut your hair is
And that's why I
a
brought
little
up
icky.
that's why I brought up that your husband fell in love with you when you had
Yeah.
the short hair. He liked it.
Yeah. Although a couple months into dating him is when I started growing it out because I was like, at my wedding, I want to have like an updo, you know? So I was like planning
I remember
way
that
ahead
when
and
you were
like
talking about
yeah. I remember telling my hairstylist like, well, this might be silly, but I started dating this guy, so I'm going to start growing out my hair.
I do have to say, I've had a hair experience that was quite different. But first of all, I think like hair color, people put a lot of like, oh, you're blonde, you can't cut your hair or whatever. And I remember when I dyed my hair, everyone was upset, you know. And I was kind of upset too because it like turned a weird color and it never went back to that blonde as it was before. So, but anyways, and there's like, and people actually online will like judge you. Like I have a friend who's a redhead and she's like a really big redhead advocate because there's actually a lot of online bullying to like redheads. And it's really like this really sad thing, but it's just like let people have their hair how they want. Hair doesn't define you, and it's kind of like any other form of self-expression. Like as long as it's edifying to you and to God, and if people will let it be edifying, you know, if they're not judging. But on an emotional side, hair for me has always represented like wanting to be beautiful and never having it quite as I wanted it to, you know. And I'd grow up and it was never quite like I could never style it how I wanted to. I would watch things and have an idea of what I wanted my hair to look like, and it never ever looked like that. I remember like
We were not raised to be doing our hair.
no, we weren't. And so when I finally like got highlights for the first time, it like didn't match my complexion, and I just remember being like, and like, you know, every time I tried, I would like look at, you know, Rachel from Friends and be like, I want that hair. And it, you know, it depends on anyways. So as I got older, and especially the last couple of years since COVID, being pregnant and having like, what's it called when you're depressed during pregnancy?
Prenatal?
Yeah, prenatal. I would have prenatal like depression and anxiety, and my hair would get turned to dreadlocks basically because I wouldn't be taking care of myself, and I just felt awful. And Christine actually helped me. This is really like sounds like awful and very vulnerable moment for me, but Christine would like have to help me brush out my hair sometimes, and I felt like less like womanly and beautiful because I couldn't like maintain my own hair, especially because I was really sick with the second pregnancy. And I like could barely walk from A to B, let alone like brush my hair. I remember telling my friend, like, I can't hold my arm up to, like, do it. And I would literally it was, like, dreadlocks. Insert picture. I do have a picture, but I don't know if we want to share that. And then, like, if I'd finally take hours to brush it out, I would feel like, oh, so beautiful again. And I still struggle with that. And I talked to my psychologist friend, and I'm like, what does it mean that, like, I can't maintain my own hair? But this is when I was pregnant. And she's like, it sounds like depression or something. So like sometimes these outwardly things do reflect what's inner inside you. So like if you want to like care about people, if they're not taking care of themselves, you know that there's probably something going on. If their hair is just a big knot, or if they're, you know, looking more tired than usual, you can always keep an eye out on those things, but not to judge anybody.
And that's a case where a pixie helps.
I know, and I never had the gut.
I
I've almost cut it so many times because of that, but I've never wanted short hair because I don't think I would personally
you
look
would look
good.
cute with like a long bob.
I feel like anytime I've done like this length hair, it's just like poof.
I used to do where I would do it about to like my ears, but I'd layer it so it was like longer in the back. But then I liked that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when layers were more in, like in the early, like, you know, I always loved
In the
layers.
aughts.
In the aughts, yeah. We should bring that back. Now it's like, I don't know. Now it's like layered, like, I don't know. They have the kids these days. But anyways.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't know what's in. But
They have like the wolf cut, which is like all, I don't know. Anyways.
I'm going to say it ties in also with what we were talking about, like self-worth and body image, and like you have hair image, because even I still feel that struggle about worth. Like after my 3 pregnancies, my hair turned wavy, almost curly wavy, especially in the back. And I'm like, wow, now my hair's doing something. Like I felt kind of more valuable, like more special because my hair was doing something. But then it kind of like backfired because like I'm gonna try the curly girl method and like try to, scrunch, and I got these products and it just kind of flopped. And so now I'm just like, it's just doing whatever, and I feel like a loser because my hair's not curly.
No,
like
you have
people with
beautiful
really
hair.
curly hair.
I love your hair.
But it's just, it is what it is. I feel like I've accepted my hair more than the world has, after my experiences. But I still feel that like, oh, I wish I could make my hair all curly and like super cute. But I feel
But also,
like I
we're all
can't.
moms, busy moms. We can only do so much.
Does anyone else like care about their children's hair more than their own?
Yes, sometimes I
Stronger.
know.
Well, my 8-month-old has like the best hair.
She's
I'm not
born
jealous.
with like a full head of thick
Curly.
hair.
And it's curly, and it's curling more and more.
Aw.
And I'm very happy for her.
I am nervous because I'm bad at taking care of my own hair about my own kids. So I do put I take my son to like the barber, or like the kids salon, and I'm nervous about having a little girl. I'm like, I have to brush her hair a lot, and I have to, but she just takes everything out. So we'll get there.
No, my daughter, I have to actually like put it. She has like a pebbles, like we'll do like but like if I don't, her hair's in her eyes because it's so long. She's only 8 months old, and it goes down. Like if I don't
very
put it up, it goes
advanced in
down
every way.
like, to her lips, basically, and we gotta keep brushing it back so it
It's
like
like
grows
curly, dark. It's really cute.
Let's move on to our final topic of weight and body image. That one's a doozy, isn't
This
it?
one, I think, eventually we'll talk more about it, but we want to touch on it today.
Yeah. I think particularly getting older and then after multiple pregnancies, accepting that your body has permanently changed is tough. I think everyone gets older. Your body changes as you get older, but pregnancy and postpartum.
It literally changes everything.
Well, there's
and I mean, like your abs.
like there's people who grow like a shoe size and it never goes back. Some people it goes back and some people it doesn't go back.
Even noses. Have you
And-
seen people talk about pregnancy nose?
I
Like things
haven't in
to
particular.
face and like everything, like a lot can change when you're pregnant.
When I after this pregnancy, I started growing. You get you like lose some hair and then you get your wisps back, and some of my wisps are growing back gray.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm 33. I'm like, man, come on. I know that's more about hair, but it's the image, like the body image thing for me, because it's like, oh, my body
Right.
looks different, and now I have gray hair.
Yeah.
What? Like, gee, thanks. Like, twist the knife.
Let me just
postpartum.
say, this is, and it's not really body dysmorphia because I think everyone has this, but they all think, like, no one, especially when you're younger, you don't feel beautiful. And you always think, like, I remember looking at, like, the most popular, beautiful girls, and, like, they were self-conscious or didn't really think they were beautiful. And I was like, oh, brother, I'm the one who should be self-conscious. But now looking back at pictures, I'm like, why was I self-conscious? I should have been like, woo, look at me go,
I know.
you know?
I
I am
never,
world.
yeah. I never like thought of myself as like thin and fit and stuff. And then I'm like, yeah, if I look back at myself as a teenager, I'm like, I was fine. Like,
Yeah, I
I did not need to worry
know.
about being too
Yeah.
big or whatever. But
Exactly.
but I thought I did when I was a
Yeah.
teenager.
I saw a meme that said like being adult is looking back at pictures every 5 years from 5 years ago and thinking, wow, I didn't actually look that bad.
Yeah.
And then another year you look back actually. So you're
Yeah.
always thinking you should just be happy with who you are, the size you're at, you know, where you're at, and
Yeah.
relish every moment.
And what?
Relish every moment. I feel like even though after I've had kids, I gained weight, I feel like I'm the most confident I've ever been because I feel like my inhibitions have like lessened when I've had kids, you know, I'm getting less sleep. I'm taking care of children all day and I'm just like, hey, if I can get out the door and put makeup on, I feel pretty good. You know, I don't have as much time to think about it. So I think I've had more confidence. But also it's good to also make a priority to take care of yourself because our bodies are the temple of God, you know, and we are made in his image. So we don't want to just let ourselves go. Like we should try to put energy into our health, primarily mental, physical. And I think we're all kind of trying to do that. We're all on our own journeys,
Yes.
but it's really hard. But also like if you're not to where you should be, it doesn't mean you need to hate yourself or hide yourself, you know?
We all just need to be more accepting of others and ourselves. And like, we're all just human. The way we look doesn't matter morally. It doesn't matter in the big scheme. It matters
Truly.
because of how it affects us, like emotionally and mentally and stuff. But if you can just get over it, you'd be better off. You know, we're all still working on it. But especially if you're young, just enjoy your youth, you
Yeah.
beautiful person, you.
Youth is wasted on the young. That's what my mom used to always say. So, ladies,
We have new goals.
we are starting a new month of new goals.
Woo!
Go.
So my goal last month was to eat more healthfully, and I did not that great. So I'm trying again. I'm actually going to, and I started yesterday, and I have 2 days of success, the whole 30 diet. So it's basically 30 days of eating like whole foods and not processed foods. There's more to it a little bit, but that's the gist of it. And 2 days of 30. I'll let you know how it's going.
Okay, good. My goal is to declutter my home, kind of what yours was. I've been in my house for a year now, and we still have some boxes unpacked and drawers to organize, and a lot of toys under the couch that we need to like put away. That, you know, how did they get there? And so I think getting my house together, especially during the holidays, I want to, from the end of this month, Halloween, through the next year, I want to be able to enjoy the holidays and not being like, oh, I have to clean. I want to be able to put decorations out without worrying about having to organize the house. So that's my goal.
Are you going to
Christine.
start with a specific area or?
With the way my mind works, I have to do a little bit here and there or what I'm inspired up to that day. But I started this thing where you wake up and you pick one thing that would make you feel like you accomplished something that day. And especially with the kids, I try to do this too. Like, what's one thing I would feel good about my mothering? And what's one thing like around the house I could do that I'll feel like, oh, okay, at least I did that. If I did nothing else, I did that. So I'll keep you updated.
Small wins to keep you going. I like that. So mine is also cluttery related. I decided that I am going to, I hope you all can relate, because I was in my kitchen and there was this cup, this baby cup that had been like kicked under the cabinet that I had just left there for a couple days because, you know, you're just ADD and there's cups under the cabinet or whatever. And I was like, you know what? Nothing on the kitchen floor. So I like got that. There's like one other thing, and I'm like, my goal is gonna be like if I see something on the floor, I'm going to pick it up because things don't belong on the floor in the kitchen. And then I was like, oh, that's only like 2 things. So I'll also get all the stuff under the dining table. So that's my goal. I'm going to keep it contained, to keep it simple and accountable, trackable. So I'm gonna nothing on the floor in the kitchen and under the dining table, where lots of things end up being found.
My friend always said, if you have something in your hand, don't put it down, put it away.
Put it away.
And I'm like, I'm really bad at that. I'm just like, and I forget about it. My ADHD, you know.
And I think like the things, the chairs and the table legs, and like it's like, you know, that's like an extra challenge to picking those things up. But I'm gonna do it, and I'm kind of excited because it's just like a mindset shift.
I like it.
Yeah.
Appreciation. Who or what do you appreciate from the week, Christine?
I wanted to say my friend Jan, because
Hi, Jan.
Hi Jan,
Shout
if
out.
you're watching, because she is a very supportive person, and when I talk to her, I feel like she's very understanding and non-judgmental, and that's just really nice to have when people can see kind of your quirks as just a part of you and not like a negative thing.
She's a good listener. My appreciation this week is for my daughter, Rowan. She's 14 months now, almost. No, yeah, she's 14 months. And she's been really sick with like a little cough and a cold. And she's just been wanting mama, mama, mama. And I remember being nervous when I was pregnant with her. I'm like, am I going to love this baby as much as I love my first kid? Because I'm so... And I feel like more than ever, I've always loved her equally, but I feel like more than ever, her and I have just been connecting.
Aww.
And we went on a trip last week, and now she's sick, and I feel like we just have this connection. And she starts taking things out of like my makeup bag, for instance, and she goes, "Wow, wow," instead of "wow," she's saying "wow," and she'll just hand me things and go, "Wow."
Cute.
It's really cute. I love her.
Aww. I will this week appreciate my son Tony. He's 4.5, and he's asking all kinds of questions about life and the meaning of life and all those things. And
right.
yeah, he has a lot of the same like anxiety that I had, but I'm glad that I get to grow closer to him and help support him through the things, even when he is like having fears or struggles or, you know, whatever. That I get to be his mom.
Oh, he's a sweetie. Yeah. Those are good, guys. Should we do a little more cinema magic?
Okay.
Oh, there we are again.
Thanks for joining us today.
Katie was putting it on. She's like, oh no. You guys, mine's dripping down my face. Look how low it is.
I just see lots of teeth. It's very toothy.
No, why is mine so low?
I think just for the sake of our viewers, maybe we should do a little cinema magic and